The opinions expressed on this program represent the viewpoints of individual authors or contributors and do not necessarily reflect those of Troy University. This is Alabama Politics with Steve Flowers, an in-depth interview with Alabama's top political newsmakers. Now, from the studios of Troy University, here is Steve Flowers.
I'm Steve Flowers, and welcome to Alabama Politics. Folks, we're very fortunate tonight to have as our guest one of my favorite guys in state politics and the future congressman from the 2nd District of Alabama, the new 2nd District, State Representative Rhett Marques from Enterprise. Rhett, good to have you on the show.
It's great to be with you again, Steve.
Third
Always
time.
enjoy spending time with you.
Third time you're on there.
Yes, sir. Maybe this third time's a charm.
You came on when you were a freshman legislator
sir.
up in Coffee County, and then we had you ran for they had that old district cut up so bad,
Yeah.
and now it's back like it is, folks. And we're right around the corner, folks. We're sitting here on July 22nd, and Rhett is running for election to the new old 2nd District of Alabama, like it used to be, a special election. So y'all get out and vote. I saw Gary Palmer the other day, and he says, "Tell people I'm on the ballot." You know, it's only the courts have. And excuse me for interrupting. You tell me if I'm right about this. I tell our viewers. You know, 4 years ago, the federal courts drew crazy districts.
That's right.
To create a Democratic district in the state from our 7-member delegation, and they put the Wiregrass, our home area, in with Mobile and Baldwin. The Mobile Baldwin people never liked it. The Wiregrass people didn't like it, but that's the way it was. And you were heading out running for that open seat. Barry Morris was in that seat from Enterprise, like you are, and he was running for the U.S. Senate and been elected. But having said that, you know, it's back like it used to be, folks. The only thing about it, it's got more of all of Montgomery in it.
All of Montgomery this time. Yes, sir.
What percent of the district would be Montgomery County?
You talking about the population base? I would imagine it's definitely the largest by far.
Population.
But I would say it's a good 30% of it. I would imagine because of the fact that Montgomery's the largest town. Dothan and Enterprise are second and third. But it's good to have the congressional district back where people understand it. It's what they're used to. I was excited about running in the 1st congressional district. I was from Baldwin County, where my roots are, my family is, you know, and having lived in the Wiregrass for the last 26 years, where I owned a business, had to raise 2 daughters. I was very excited. But this is better for the state and better for the country. We're in a position now to pick up the Republican seat that we lost, and it's going to be a very tight margin when it comes to this midterm, as far as the House is concerned, with the numbers of, and so every one seat picked up is going to be a benefit, and we can keep Speaker Johnson, and that's going to be great. But You were talking about how this district's laid out, and it is from the Wiregrass all the way to all of Montgomery to Elmore County, but it encompasses 16 counties, 14 whole, and a piece of Elmore and a piece of Covington. But that is basically, if you're looking at the state of Alabama, it is the quarter of the state from Russell County, Macon County, Montgomery, Elmore, all the way down to the Florida line. So it's Lowndes County's in it, Butler County's in it, Crenshaw. It's a big area.
You're finishing up your second 4-year term in the House.
Yes, sir.
That's how long Mo was in the House from Coffee for 2 or 3 terms.
Yeah, two.
2 terms,
Yeah,
same
from
as you.
2010 to 2018.
And then he's been to Congress 6 years, hasn't he?
Yes, sir. He won in 2020. That's exactly right.
You talk about Klaus. You know he and I have been lifetime friends. You knew that.
He's been a great mentor.
He's a mentor to everybody in the Wiregrass.
Oh yes, sir.
He really is for you a lot. That speaks well to you that all the members of the legislature and from this area were for you. And the last time when the district was going to be weird like that with the 1st district in there, and now all of them are for you too.
Literally.
You know, you get to know people well in the legislature, don't you?
Yes, sir. You put people in positions where under fire. Maybe I shouldn't use that term because I mean, it's not like being in the military, but under pressure, I should say. You know, you put people under pressure, and you're getting pulled in a lot of different areas. You can really learn a lot about people's character.
You know, Rhett, you've sold your tire business, haven't you?
I have in November of 2023. Yes, sir.
Perfect timing.
Perfect time.
Your daughters are out of college, right?
Yes, sir. 27-year-old Amelia is in Birmingham as a lawyer, and I have a 24-year-old Mary Reeves who's in Morocco in the Peace Corps.
No, I think I asked that last time.
Yes, sir.
They done real well there.
They have. Very proud of my wife and I. Are very proud of them. They have really done well.
Are they married yet?
No, sir.
That's
they are
good.
not.
27 years. Does she go with a big firm, or she?
She's a small, a small family firm is perfect for her. She's loving it.
That's why you're in Birmingham a good bit.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Rhett, back to the congressional district. When I was a young boy, I worked for Bill Dickinson.
Oh.
He was a great congressman. He served 28 years. Bill was on armed services, and he was the ranking Republican. And his entire 28 years from 1964, he got elected in the Goldwater landslide in '64 when the South turned Republican. He actually beat my mama's uncle, George Grant.
Oh, wow.
Was a congressman in the 2nd District, and Lister Hill had been the congressman in this district before that. So it was Lister Hill from Montgomery, and then George Grant from Troy. He was a Troy lawyer, and then Bill Dickinson for 28 years. But Bill, his entire 28 years, he was in the minority, and he never got to be chairman. And the next year, the Duke Gingrich Revolution came along, and he'd have been chairman.
Oh.
But he quit in 2002 or something like that. He was a good guy. He looked like a congressman. He took care of Rucker and Maxwell Gunner. I'm gonna tell you, he took care of them. And I tell you one thing, Rucker's gonna be taken care of with from Coffee County with Katie Britt being in the Senate, Barry Moore being in the Senate, both from Enterprise. I talked to that group the other day, and Rhett Marques is gonna be the House member from Coffee County. Enterprise is gonna be well represented in Congress.
We have a great group, and we have a great group across the state. And you were talking about Congressman Dickerson. Well, we have a great congressman who is the chairman of the Armed Services, Mike Rogers.
That's right.
And I'm looking forward to working with Chairman Rogers. He is a fantastic individual. He knows what he's doing. He is taking care of all of our bases, and it is so. The 2nd Congressional District is so unique because of the fact that they have 3 major bases. Well, the 2nd Congressional District has 3 major bases: Maxwell, Benning, and Rucker. And in Pike County, we have Lockheed Martin and Sikorsky, as you well know, in your backyard. And we are blessed to have the defense of this country, but the economic engine of the state right here in the 2nd Congressional District. And Chairman Rogers does a fantastic job.
He does. Now, him being chairman of the Armed Services will not preclude you from having a seat on that, will it?
I would. We are working to work on that, because to lead into this, the 2 committees that I'm really interested in working on is Armed Services and Ag, and they are 2 vitally important. And after Congressman Dickerson came Congressman Everett. Terry Everett was the congressman for a number of years and was chairman of Ag for a period. And he did a great job for the Wiregrass also. And so Ag is very important, $87 billion to the state, very important to the 2nd Congressional District and 1st. And just I think it's going to be a great committee to try to work on.
You're exactly right. And I've never seen a congressional district where it's so obvious a committee that you ought to be on Armed Services and Ag. If there's any congressional district that's cut out for that 2nd district is Agriculture and Armed Services. Dickinson was great, but I'll tell you a story about that. Dickinson, I was in the House seat when we got Lockheed Martin. It was Martin Marietta, then they merged. And that was a real coup. I got the state plane to go down there, and everybody in Pike County tried to claim credit for it. I did, and everybody else. But Bill Dickinson did it.
Yeah.
He got with those industrial military people, and he was ranking Republican. He says, I want y'all to put your next plant in my district. I don't care where it is. And they found the most secluded place. You know how secluded it is out there.
It needs to be.
And you know, people don't realize what awesome missiles are made out there.
Well, and they're about to have a $1.8 billion expansion and to build more. But the Hellfire, the Javelin, the Patriot, I mean, they do a fantastic job. And but yeah, they're about to have a $1.8 billion expansion there. That tells you how important that industry is for the wiregrass in the state of Alabama.
And you know for a fact, having been in business and enterprise, how important Rucker is.
No.
John Mitchell knows it, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's exactly right. You know, if it wasn't for Fort Rucker, you know, we as a business, the businesses there, we wouldn't have a business. You know, in 1965, you're the historian, but in 1965, when Alabama didn't vote for President Johnson, he closed Brooklyn and Mobile, and it hurt Mobile for 30 plus years.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the port, who knows what would happen to Mobile? And then they closed Craig Field and Selma, and it has hurt. And Selma's never recovered from that. And that's why it's so important to keep Maxwell in Montgomery, keep Fort Rucker, and keep Benning strong. All three of them.
You're exactly right. You know, to that point about the bases are Rhett. Rucker is the heart and soul of the wiregrass.
Absolutely.
If you hurt Rucker, you hurt the wiregrass.
It is the economic.
You know
engine.
that well as anybody.
Absolutely.
More than anybody else. But having said that, I had Mayor Todd Strange sitting where you are, the mayor of Montgomery, 10 years ago, whatever it was, and there had been a downturn in the economy or something, and they were cutting some state government jobs, some state employee jobs. And having grown up and been born and raised in Troy and been around Troy all my life, I just assumed that the biggest industry in Montgomery was state government. And most people, I think, would assume that. And so I made some lamenting comment to him as he was sitting there. I said, I know you're disappointed or sad, it's hurt your city's economy that your biggest employer has lost jobs. He says, that's not our biggest employer in Montgomery. I said, what do you mean? I said, is Hyundai bigger than that? He said, Maxwell Gunner's always been. Maxwell Gunner is the biggest employer.
Absolutely. And Fort Rucker, to your point, there's 22,000 people roughly going in and out of Fort Rucker every day.
Yeah.
I mean, it's enormous. And
amazing.
I mean, and the retirees that are staying.
That's what's so important.
That's what's important. These people love not only the low taxes in Alabama, but they love the fact that we like our veterans and we like our military and we take care of them. And we're going to always take care of them. And but you know, those people who have gone all over the world are coming back here to Alabama, and that tells you a lot about our hospitality, but also tells you a lot about our tax structure too. We have the lowest tax burden in the nation. The only one, you know, we go back and forth for lowest between us and Alaska, and so I mean we have. The low property tax and everything else, and people love it.
You know, I've always said this to Enterprise and Dothan people, that there ought to be more emphasis, I mean, really a concerted effort to get snowbirds to retire in the wiregrass, because if you look at a map, you know this, you can look at TVY in Dothan and watch the weather, and you look at the Panama City station.
Right.
It's the same weather.
Well, it is.
So
you know, the Dothan market handles most of Panama City.
Yeah, I knew it did,
yeah.
but I'm saying that's if you look at the forecast, if a snowbird in Michigan is saying I want to go live in a warm climate, and you look at a map,
you're right.
You got the same warm weather in the wintertime in the wiregrass and Enterprise and Dothan, which gives you a little populous place. Plus, Dothan's medical care becomes.
Well, Dothan is the hub of the wiregrass.
Yeah.
I mean, Dothan, to your point, their healthcare system in Dothan is second to none.
That's right.
And, you know, Southeast is about to become part of the Mayo Clinic. And that is enormous.
I didn't know that.
That is a big deal. And, you know, but they handle three states, the south part of Georgia, the Florida Panhandle, and the southeast part of Alabama. That is a tremendous asset. And Dothan is very well run with Mayor Saliba, and he does a great job and Dothan is the key, but it all starts at Fort Rucker, doesn't it?
It sure does. But however, to your point though, and you made it, but you can't emphasize how much medical care has evolved in Dothan, how important it is. It's the #1 employer.
Oh, it is.
Not
It is in
Rucker or
Dothan.
agriculture. In
That's
Dothan,
right.
it's #1.
That's right.
Well, tell me how you enjoying. You getting to know new people. I mean,
We were just discussing this in a luncheon. I have had the best time getting around the state, getting to see the people, and a lot of the people I knew years ago, and I get to revisit old friendships and everything else. But we have a great state. We have an incredible state, and it is. If you do not like talking to people and not getting out, and this isn't for you, but I love it and I enjoy it. And I'm so proud to have an opportunity to, for the last 8 years, be a state representative. And I look forward to being the United States Congressman if I'm so blessed to get the support and be voted.
you'll be a good congressman. You're
Thank
the
you.
right age to get up there too. I know it's good
Yes,
to get
sir.
there when you're 30 or 35 years old, because of the seniority system. But you're not about 50, are you?
53.
53. Yeah. That's plenty of time.
Right.
You can
Right.
spend 20 years up there easily and build some seniority and dig in. You'll know what you're doing too, having had legislative experience and knowing people and that sort of thing. But you are working a real good grassroots campaign and getting to know people, and that's good. A congressman needs to know his constituents.
Absolutely.
And
you're exactly right. You got to get out and visit and talk about what other people want to talk about, not what you want to talk about, but it's about everybody else. But we are blessed with an incredible wiregrass delegation in the state of Alabama. You talked about Steve Klaus, but Paul Lee, Jeff Sorrells, Marques Paramore, Donnie Chastain, Rick Ream, Josh Carnley, Matthew Hammock. They are fantastic people, and we actually, and that's one thing. It's all about building relationships, whether it's in life or business or politics. It's all about building relationships, and we have built some great relationships, and I'm continuing to do that with this grassroots effort. Meet and greets and going into towns and just wandering around and talking to everybody we get in front of.
I know this has been confusing to people about this August election.
It has been very confusing.
But to enlighten our viewers, folks, that they had changed, the Supreme Court has allowed the state to change the lines back like they were, so the second district's come back like it was in Montgomery and the Wiregrass connected. But there's a special election in about 2 weeks.
Well, yes, sir, and not only to your point, Steve, it is on August 11th. You did a great job, but there is no runoff. This is plurality. So the person that gets one more than the next person is the winner.
Mm-hmm.
There is no second chance,
Right.
and that's important.
Well, I know it, and you got to get folks out to vote and let them know. But I guess this day and time, you pretty much have a computer base and know who all tends to vote in a Republican primary every time. You concentrate on that. But I tell you one thing that I remember from politics too is you need to work your home county last.
It's all local, isn't it?
It is. But I have some of the legislators work with you in your campaign.
Absolutely.
They got out in campaign with you?
Yeah, absolutely. Chris Blackshear was kind enough to take me to Phoenix City and take me around.
Is Russell in that district?
Russell County's in that district, and Steve Blackshear's done a great job. And Chris Sells over in Greenville had a great time in Greenville, and we're going to be in.
They go with you and everything?
They go with me and take me around and introduce me to everybody. And Jeff Sorrells is going to do that in Geneva County, and Paul and Donnie and Dothan and Marques in both Troy and in Ozark, since
That's
he has
right.
Marques has that store in Ozark, but those guys have been great to me.
Alpha's endorsed you, hadn't they?
Alpha, and I was blessed with the president's endorsement.
That's right. You got Trump's endorsement.
Yes, sir, and that came. Senator Brett was on board
That's
from
right.
the get-go, and Katie and Wesley are dear friends of Christina and I, and it meant a lot that Senator Brett came out so early to endorse us, and because of that, the president, and that was a big momentum boost. But to your point, Alpha, the Farmers Federation, from a grassroots standpoint, they are second to none as far as a grassroots, and so is the Alabama Rural Electric Association.
Oh, they sure
and
are.
They endorse me also. And
some of those boards overlap.
Absolutely.
Have you seen the same guys on both the co-op board and the Alpha board?
Yes, sir. You're exactly right. And Coffee County is unique with Alabama Rural Electric. We have 4 co-ops.
Y'all in P River and
P River, Covington, Wiregrass, and South Alabama.
I didn't know that.
That converge right there in Coffee County. So they have been fantastic. But between Alpha and Rural Electric and Manufacturer Alabama, the Alabama General Contractors, all those endorsements, the Groceries Association, all those endorsements and those people, those represent hardworking Alabamians.
They're leaders in their community too. They're centers
Yes.
of influence. They're leaders in their churches and everything like that. I bet you, have you had people how are confused about the districts, aren't they?
Even people, and you and I are kind of in a bubble because this is what we do. But I have had people who know politics very well, they are so confused. Why are we voting on August 11th? Well, because the Supreme Court allowed us to. We redistrict. But I've already voted for you once. Well, not really. They went through all that way. So this is a new primary, special primary. So, the first, 2nd, 6th, and 7th districts. The only thing on that ballot is going to be the congressional district that you live in, and it is so important to have everyone go out and vote.
It really is. Y'all on August 11th. I was going to tell you, I bet people have. You got this too. They say, "How do you?" I bet they mispronounce your name. It's spelled so different.
I have definitely.
It ought to be Marcus.
Yeah, well, that's
how you say
exactly,
it.
That's phonetically how you say it. But we came in. My dad's family came into Mobile.
It's French, isn't it?
French. He, my great uncle was the ambassador to the French consulate in Mobile in the late 1800s, and I'm sure they did not say Marcus, but I'm sure they said Marquise or something. And but we Alabamatized it a little bit. And we changed it, and so it's Marcus, but it is something. You're correct. I get more pronunciations.
I bet you do. How do you say your name?
But the great thing, Steve, is I have a very unique first name, Rhett.
That's right.
And so if you see Rhett, it's probably it's probably me.
When I write something good about you in my column, I'll sometimes put the I rather than the E. And when John was
close enough.
When you were putting your name out, but I said we ought to just put Marcus. So if any of you viewers are watching how you say his name is Rhett Marques by Alabama and the Wiregrass standards, it's Marcus.
Yes, sir. That's exactly right.
Just call him Old Rhett.
Yeah, Old Rhett. That's all that matters. Yes, sir.
You're a good time in life to be doing this thing, and I'm glad you're doing it. And
well, I appreciate you, Steve.
You'll be a good congressman for the 2nd District. We need somebody who understands the whole area, and you had a business there and everything, raised your family there in Enterprise. Enterprise probably, I've got a column coming about this. It's going to be the most unique thing in the world. With Katie Britt, both U.S. senators born and raised and gone to Enterprise High School. But I think one reason Enterprise has grown more than any other city in the southeast part of the state is the school system.
Well, we do. We are blessed with great school systems.
You really are. That's been one of the keys, I think, to Enterprise's growth.
Well, and schools go along with economic development and growth. You got to have good hospitals. You got to have good schools. And Dothan has great hospitals. And and we have a great hospital. We have great schools down there, and we have great infrastructure. The Rebuild Alabama Act that we passed in 2019 has been instrumental in growing and redoing the roads, 4-laning, and et cetera. And we have a long way to go. There's no doubt about it. But that really, you got to have infrastructure, you got to have schools, and you got to have great hospitals, and we got all 3.
Rhett, talking about that, remember you and I got to discussing a couple of years ago the widening of 167 between Troy and what's the progress on that?
Well, we're still working on it. Senator Brett was able to get some funds for that. They have had a hard time passing the continuing resolutions here as of late and passing a budget, which we hope that we can fix. But it's we have a plan in place. We've worked on the feasibility study. Senator Shelby actually gave us the initial funds on that because of then.
His wife.
From Kinston, but from then at that point, Chief of Staff Katie Brett, and we were able to get the funds to do the feasibility study, and it is something that the Wiregrass needs. They're 4-laning 52 from Dothan to Hartford, and we need a north-south corridor through that part of the state from Troy to
it's the main corridor.
It is a main corridor, and during the summertime you cannot drive up and down. And 87 through Elba's the same way, and I mean it's and 331 in Covington County. We need there's some work that needs to be done there, but we're working on it.
That'll be a perfect job for you and Katie working on together.
100%. I agree 100%.
Y'all can widen 167. It'll be good for the whole state.
It would be good for the whole state. It would be great economic development, and it would help Fort Rucker also.
That's a direct corridor to the beach. It's the best route.
It is straight into Panama City. Yeah. That's correct.
We'll finish on this one. Your predecessor who sat with me in the house, Coffee Can's been so lucky because geographically and size-wise, it could have one representative.
Yes,
so you had Coffee County.
Yes, sir.
Jimmy Holly was one of my best friends, and he would sit with me.
Great mentor to me.
In his latter years, when I think about 167, you've eaten at the Half Shell.
Oh, yeah.
Half Shell's got the best oysters in the world. And I've never seen anybody in my life, I think about this, somebody talk about raw
He can
oysters.
eat them.
He would call me about 9:30 in the morning and say, "Can you meet me at the Half Shell?" That son of a gun would eat 4 dozen raw oysters.
Yeah.
Did you know he liked you knew that?
Every time we go anywhere, there's oysters. He was going to eat a couple dozen. There's no doubt about it. I miss Senator Holly every day.
He was a great guy.
He was. When I got into the legislature, I'm scared to death of him. But that's another story for another day. But I found out what a great man he was. He was, and you wrote a book and about this, and you put him in the book, and talking about how he was probably one of the greatest statesmen.
I never seen one like it.
He was one of the greatest statesmen this state has ever had.
He read every bill.
It was and he was just he taught me how to look for the, as he called them, the landmines.
Exactly.
Where are the landmines in this bill, and who to go talk to?
He mentored a lot of people.
He was tremendous for me, and I miss him. And Miss Mary is one of the finest people, and they raised 2 good sons.
They're good folks. Well, folks, time's up. Our guest tonight has been State Representative Rhett Marques, Coffee County Enterprise, who is the leading candidate for the open congressional seat, the 2nd District seat here in Montgomery and throughout the Wiregrass. The election, folks, right around the corner. So y'all remember August 11th, and we thank Rhett Marques for being with us, and thank you viewers for watching. Hope you tune in again next week for Alabama Politics. Thank you, Rhett.
Thank you, Steve.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
This has been Alabama Politics with Steve Flowers, a production of Troy University Television. Opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of Troy University, its administration, faculty, staff, or students.